You are welcome to Spot On with StephREDD.
How are you, StephREDD, today?
I am fantastic. In Spot On with StephREDD, we talk about different topics, just different issues.
There's a form of artist in everyone.
I love to be very independent.
And the recognition of the genius that we are and who we are.
I sound very smart, but I have zero education.
I always learn something from everybody I work with.
To see how we can embrace new perspectives and, quite importantly, be able to progressively evolve with the fullness of who we are, the fullness of our genius.
When you are living a fulfilled life, that means that's the feedback loop that you are on the right path.
When you can give value to someone, that's your greatest gift to the world, and that's when people will listen to you.
And then begin to impact our world with that genius, one person at a time. Today, we are talking to the genius called Akin. Let's tell a bit about Akin. In an ever-shifting world of social media, Akin, widely known as AkDaWicked, we're going to get to find out why he calls himself that, found himself standing at a crossroad with an impressive following of 80,000 followers on TikTok and 20,000 followers on Instagram. His recent post titled The Failed Artist hinted at inner turmoil. In today's podcast, we step into a vulnerable space to discuss his gift, his challenges, his struggles, and what it truly means to be a gifted man. Ladies and gentlemen, make it up, give it up, put your hands together for AkDaWicked. Hi, Akin. How are you?
Hello, it's so nice. I feel
I
good.
am
And you? How you doing?
enthusiastic. I'm really enthusiastic, looking forward to just having this chat with you. And I counted it a blessing to have stumbled on your page and saw the phenomenal thing you're really doing with art, and I want to know all about it. So to just kicking at this point, Akin, tell us, how did you stumble into the world of art? Whatever art, drawing, digital art, whatever it is, how did you stumble into that world?
Yeah, so art for me has been like my life. It has been everything that I grew up with because I feel like all of us, like every human, like since we're little, there's a form of artistic, like there's a form of artist in everyone. You understand? But as we grow older, we just start losing the sense for it because we have different paths that we are pursuing in life. But for me, I just happen to be like very curious about art. So then whenever I see like videos, pictures, cartoons, I ask questions like I want to know how is it possible? How is it possible to make this cartoon character move? How is it possible? Even billboards. When I see billboards, I'm like, how is it possible for that person to be that big? How is the text working? How is the font working? You understand? So art for me has always been something that I've always loved and I've always asked questions about. So and even when I was in secondary school, when I was in junior secondary school, I had a good handwriting. So anytime we had like a new topic, I sketch out the topic. I try to make it as beautiful as possible. Whenever we have like drawing classes, I try to put extra effort into making my drawings beautiful. So it has been like that for me. I didn't even know like I could make a career out of it, but it was something that I love and it was something that I just wanted to like create something that looks like what I've been saying. So art for me has been like my life. It has been everything I wanted to do. And yeah, I've been pursuing it
That's
since I
fantastic.
was
So do you
little.
have any form of formal education in art?
Yeah, so like I said, art for me has just been something that has been really part of me. But growing up in a typical African home is very hard for you. Maybe not recently, maybe in recent
Yeah.
years that's improved. But then it's very hard for you to tell your parents you
True.
want to become an artist. It is not. It doesn't sound
It's a taboo,
good as
actually. It's
saying,
a
"Oh, you
taboo
wanted
to
to
say
become a
it.
doctor."
To even think it,
Yeah,
it's a taboo to think
yeah,
it.
like
How much more voice it? Yeah.
yeah. So it's not as cool as saying,
Oh.
"Oh, I want to be a
Mm-hmm.
doctor. I want to be a lawyer, banker." You understand? So I actually fell into that. I won't call it a trap, or I fell into that place as well. So I was a
Oh,
science student.
wow.
Sadly for me, I was a science student. I couldn't even become an art student because I felt so low for the level of intelligence and expectation
I,
people have in me. So I was actually a science. and pursuing medical. I wanted to become a medical doctor in my head, but part of me just loved art, and I've been learning through YouTube. I've been learning from other people's. I have mentors that I grow on their social media platforms. I study what they do and I try to replicate it. So the learning process for me has been learning from other people and learning from like the internet in general.
So there was something you said that really just struck a chord, and I am just thinking I'll need to pick it up later, or if this just is because asking this question may totally just shift the trajectory of our discussion. But I would, I'll ask it anyway. You said that art was almost like you falling low or lesser than what was expected of you. So it had to be science.
Yeah,
And I really connect to that deeply because in
yeah,
my secondary school, when I was moving from the lower secondary GSS 3 to SS1, the guidance counselor had said I was stronger in the art. I mean, I was acting, I was dancing, I was singing for the school. I was the school's top actress. Everything the art was me. But then my science results were poor.
yeah,
So when it was time to go, when you go to the upper secondary, that's when they shift you, split you into science or art. And I was split into art, and I said no. I can't be in art class. It's a taboo because my father was a medical doctor. My mother studied agricultural science. All my four siblings, I'm the last of five,
yeah,
were science students. How dare it get to my turn and I
yeah,
dare become an art student? Put me in a
yeah,
science class
yeah,
by all means necessary. I insisted on it because I didn't think that my mother would be
yeah,
proud to hear that I was an art student. And that was one of the biggest
yeah,
mistakes of my life because they put me in a science class I repeated
yeah,
in secondary school because I was in the science class. Eventually, found my way back to art and I began to do so well and thrive there. Now, while indeed it was an
exactly.
embarrassing thing to talk about at the point for my mother to say I was in art class, and even when, okay, now you've decided to be in art class, you must do a dignified art course like law or accounting, since it can't be medicine, engineering, and the likes. But
Yeah,
eventually I studied French.
yeah,
And it just, we started this discussion about how it is that there are some things that are taboo in a typical African home. And in the course of it, if we do not find a
yeah,
redirection, we could sometimes miss the ability
yeah,
to engage from our point of genius. And that took me many years to discover.
yeah,
So, bringing it
yeah,
back to you, how did you
exactly.
eventually find the courage to pivot from being a science
Yeah,
student to engaging in the art and building yourself this much the way you are today? Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like as much as we feel there's a lot of pressure in
Yeah.
the African home for you to for you to be a lawyer, a doctor, a banker. There's actually like a place in ourselves, in our hearts that we're meant to like check and really sit down like what do I actually want to do? On the long run, they were actually going to like bend to the rules and see that this makes you happy. But you know, as a little child, as a kid, you put that lot
Yeah.
of pressure on your head. So I wasn't able to leave that pressure. I pursued medicine for 2 years. I was home after secondary school for
Wow.
4 years. And during this 4 years, in admission into the university. I was trying, but I could not get admission. But luckily for me, during those 4 years were the best years of my life because I was already learning graphic design. I was taking projects. I was working with
Mm,
international clients.
yeah.
I was making money for myself
Oh,
as a
wow.
young person. But I still had the pressure of going to school and pursuing something science. So I took myself to school and I learned. I went to school,
Yeah.
UniBen, University of Benin, Edo State. I wanted to learn computer science because I felt like computer science is closer. I was still finding a way to
Yeah.
excuse myself into learning that science. I didn't want to
Art.
see
Yeah.
myself as an art student, like I'm pursuing.
Yeah.
You understand? So I went to the university and when I just saw the whole computer science thing, it
Mm,
wasn't for me. And that was when I realized it didn't hit me until I got into the university. And now this is the sacrifice. This is the time that now you have like
yeah.
gone back and forth and life is trying to redirect you. But because you're stubborn, you have something in your heart that you feel like you should do.
Mm,
Instead of following your direction, you just wanted to do what you have in your head. So when I got to the university, three years in, I realized that this
mm.
is not for me and I now had to drop out
Oh, wow.
from school and start pursuing this. fully because I wasn't happy. I was bothering myself a lot. I was fell into a dark place in myself and in a dark space when I was in school. It was a lot of mental battle for me. So I knew, oh, this might
Mm,
not be for me. So let me just stop it now and just focus on what I know how to do best,
mm.
what makes me happy.
So,
Yeah. My parents accepted
oh,
it,
that's
everybody accepted
fantastic. They eventually did. That's fantastic.
it. Yeah.
So, Tommy, still on this vein
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the entire overwhelm that you began to feel because you were doing something that you felt didn't come naturally to you. What have been the most, what I call it, significant challenges that you have experienced as a
Okay.
result of choosing art and doing art and even being art?
So the I feel like the biggest challenge I faced as an artist was the resources to learn.
Mm,
You understand? There's a lot of provision online like to learn arts, but like physically, like having people to push
mm,
you through it
mm.
physically was like the greatest challenge for me. And that is why I took it upon myself to start sharing my knowledge. That is basically why I started making tutorials, making videos that helps other people learn. And I try to make it in the kind of English language that I was speaking now is different from what Britain or an
Mm,
American is going to speak. So even when I was learning art then, I had to learn from them. I couldn't understand everything they were saying. And that was not because I was bad in English or anything, but there are deep accents that you
absolutely.
can't just
Yes,
understand. You
yes,
can't just
yes,
comprehend. You understand? Those were
yes.
like the challenges for me. Having a place, having someone, having like a
Yeah,
direct mentor, someone that you can talk to, someone that can make you know that this is not bad.
mm,
This is something that you can
absolutely.
actually do and make a
Absolutely.
life out of. So now, since then, I just took it upon myself that I am going to be a go-to place
Mm.
for young kids like me that I want to learn, and they don't have to now start bothering yourself and learning in accents they can't understand or stuff like that. So I've been putting my YouTube together to get people to learn in a language that they can easily understand and in a format
Now,
that they can
this
understand.
is
So
this
that is it
is
for me.
fantastic. You turned what was your challenge to be someone else's solution.
Yeah,
So that when it was you, you
yeah,
needed
yeah,
you needed
exactly.
a mentor and you needed a probably a sponsor or someone, a physical inspiration that could guide you in that path. You didn't find it,
Yeah,
and then you tell yourself, you know what, I would be that inspiration and that mentor to someone else, and that is
yeah,
phenomenal. There's no greater way to
yeah,
give back to society than that. So I really want to say thank you, and yes, thank you on behalf of all the people that are learning from you and have found a mentor and an inspiration in you. Thank you for following that call and for choosing to fill that space and really hold space for people who have not yet been able to hold space for themselves. Right? Thank you. So I can tell, let's talk now about content creation. What are some of the things that inspired you to begin to create content in the way that you create content? I mean, your content is unique. What has inspired you to create content that way?
yeah. So for me, content creation, I actually have been a content creator all my life. Like I said, I have this little bit of art
Mm,
in myself as a little kid that I didn't actually understand. You understand? So I remember when I was in school then, I saw a music video by an
mm,
artist, Olamide, and I took my camera then, I took my phone and I recorded that exact, like the
yeah.
exact music video. I shot it myself. I
Okay.
tried to put a scene together. And when I took it to school, when I took my phone to school, my friend happened to find the video and the video just went viral inside the school. You understand? Like people were like, oh, he's trying to do that thing that he saw in
Mm,
that music video. You understand? Trying to replicate what I saw. So as I started growing up, I
yeah.
loved Hollywood movies. I love the effects. It's just so mind blowing to me. But I didn't have the knowledge to
Mm,
recreate what they're doing. You understand? So I took it upon myself to start learning it bit by bit, start learning
wow.
VFX. So I like to refer to myself as a VFX artist as well. So visual effects. So I promised myself that in any of my
Yeah.
videos or in anything I'll do, I'll make sure to add
Oh,
VFX, visual
wow.
effects in it. So I just started pursuing that kind of content. So it's different when people say they see that VFX in it, and that's what makes it different. I don't put out my video without having that wow factor, that VFX in it. Like I said, it's just been for me solving the problems that I faced when I
Yes,
was young,
yes.
when I was younger. You understand? So I've been trying to do that in my work. You'll be seeing it in my content. Whenever I'm trying to put a video out, I try to put it out
Mm,
in best of quality, try to add VFX in it, and try to make people want to see to like watch it, rewatch it as well.
mm.
So yeah.
what particular kind of content do you enjoy creating the most?
I enjoy making filmmaking. I call it
Yeah.
cinematography. I call it
Okay.
cinematic shots. So it's like cinematic. When you look at it like a movie, it's like you're watching a movie that is open to your
Okay.
interpretation. Very short, but they are open interpretations. You can interpret it any way
Mm.
you want to. So most of the times it's just like cinematic, add a VFX, and I allow people to interpret it the way they want to, without actually watching like longer videos. Yeah,
Amazing. Have you how
yeah.
how many other content creators have you worked with, or which particular ones currently inspire you? Yes, that you've probably been able to see that you think you would like to work with.
So for the collaborating with the content with other content creators here in Nigeria,
Yeah.
because of the kind of content I make, is very different. It's different from the kind of people that make my own kind of content are not in Nigeria. You understand? So I actually struggle with getting other
Your
people
kind of
that
content
understand
creation.
exactly what I'm. Yeah. But I still see some people that like
Mm.
are in that line of what I'm doing, especially now that I'm putting out tutorials, putting out my videos. I've had a lot of people come to me now and be like, "Oh, I want to do that thing you're doing." You understand what I'm saying? But a sense of inspiration, my inspiration
Yeah.
mostly comes from
Mm.
what other people are doing in
Yeah.
the Hollywood scene, like
The bigger
abroad. You
screen.
understand? I have like international content creators. I'm going to mention his name. The guy's name is
Yeah.
Recider. Recider. He's very good. He's very good. So I watch his videos. I try to replicate his kind of
Okay.
shots, his kind of environment, and I just put that
Oh
into my
wow.
video
Wow.
as well.
That's fantastic. Let's go in that direction. I would like to know more about Akin. So when I saw your name, I mean, what you like to call yourself, I was like, what is behind this name? Tell us about AK the Wicked.
So the one thing I like about that AkDaWicked is it turns head every time. When people hear that name,
Mm.
they're like AkDaWicked. You understand? So that's one of the reasons why I picked it. Is I think it's different. When people hear AkDaWicked, they're like, this is different. This is not something everybody hears. So there's this particular creator that inspires me a lot. Around like 2018, 2019, she was so good. Her name is Wavy
Mm.
the Creator. You understand? So my name actually started as AK the
Okay.
Creator. But at that point, everybody, because the girl blew up, her content blew up, then everybody just started adding the creator, the creator, the creator, the creator to their name. You understand? So I was like, I want to stand out from calling myself the creator. But I was not able to get anything. But at that point, I was now recreating other people's music video. I recreated a music video by Chris Brown, and the director of the music video actually commented on my page then. You understand? I recreated videos of
Yes.
popular artists. I was getting comments, and then people were always saying, "Oh, this is wicked. This is wicked. This is good."
Oh.
This I'm like, okay, hey, maybe it's actually wicked. So whenever they say like AK, so I want people to see my work. I'm like, oh, that is wicked. So like AK that wicked, like the work is wicked. So whenever you say it, it's just like a mixture of the Gen Z, the slang, and then just like
Mm.
staying different. That's just it. That's
Mm.
just the idea.
How do you feel about
Yeah.
what emotions describe how you feel when you hear the name and when people call you the name?
I feel happy. So this lately I've been going out and then I have people come up to me like, I know you. I'm like, oh, you know me. Like that has been my goal ever since I've been. It has not really been my goal, but I've always wanted people to see what I can do. You understand? Because I grew up as a very shy person that wanted to do a lot of art stuff that requires me to be in people's faces. But because I was shy, I had to retreat. I had to start from graphic design. I actually started with graphic design because that was the only avenue for me that I can become an artist without
Mm.
showing my face. So I can be behind the camera without showing my face. You understand? But now when I started into content creation, I could be shooting videos for other people, but I took it upon myself to be in front of the camera
Mm.
as much as I'm behind it. So I want people to appreciate the person in front of the camera as much as they are
Mm.
appreciating the work that goes on behind the camera. Because I feel like it has to my value. It makes people respect what
Yeah.
I'm about to
Yeah.
say. It makes people listen to me in general. Understand? So whenever I go out and people are like, "Oh, AK that weekend," it makes me happy. It means it's working. It means that
Mm.
what I'm building is working bit by
Mm.
bit, and I love it.
That's
Every time
fantastic.
I
That's
love it.
fantastic.
I
Just
love
like
it.
how a few days ago I was speaking with, I can't remember who, and I was talking about how good it was to now bring award or reward the people behind camera. In Hollywood, there's now something for those that create the
Yeah.
effects and those and the makeup artists and
Yeah.
costumers. Because the
Exactly.
truth is, no matter
Exactly.
the level of your art as an actor, you come and stand in front of the camera, it takes a whole lot more to put up
A lot of
those
people.
what
Yeah.
eventually becomes a film, or even if it's a stage. And it's a lot. I
Yeah.
interviewed someone recently who is into not just stage act but also movie making,
Yeah.
and it takes a whole lot to put all of
Yeah.
this into place. And the people behind cameras, particularly in these days where there's a lot of FX, they need some level of recognition, because
Yeah.
it also makes them realize that their work is appreciated, that they're seen, right? And it's not just in the hands of the actor,
Yeah.
just comes and goes. There's so much more. So I like that in the middle of
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
being able to do the great thing that you do off camera, you are now bringing it in front of camera so that people can also tie their face. That's fantastic. So tell me, what does
Exactly.
there are two questions now. Which should I go first? I'm thinking of, you said you were shy, right? And when people tell me they're shy, I like
Yeah.
to ask why. At what point did you realize that you were shy as a kid?
Yeah. So I think being shy is actually like a mental thing. Having this kind of number one inferiority complex, you don't really believe in yourself. You understand? You feel like people are going to mock you, people are going to laugh at you. You understand what I'm saying? So being a kid, I didn't want anyone to laugh at me. I didn't want to do anything and anyone make me feel stupid. So that's one thing that makes me stay to myself. Because if I don't do nothing at all, if I don't show my face, then
Nobody will
nobody will be
laugh
able to
at
laugh
you.
at me. You understand? So it being scared, yeah, of people mocking me, not knowing that actually all the great people actually make mistakes, actually get like torn down, tell no. You
Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying? So being shy for me is like a
Absolutely.
psychological thing. It's like being scared of people. So if I'm in a new place, if I walk into a new room and I don't know the people I'm seeing, I'm going to enter that psychological state where my face is just like it's strong. I don't even know that it's strong. You understand what I'm saying? And they feel like, oh, because I feel like now I have to stay to myself. I don't want to talk to someone. I don't
Mm.
want to hold out my hands and this person will not shake me. You understand? Not knowing that if I hold out my hands, I have higher chances
Absolutely.
of getting the handshake back. And if the person eventually turned it down, I have tried. You understand? I have tried to shake the person. I was being
Mm,
polite,
mm.
and that is not a loss on my part. So lately, I've been like, I'm growing it bit by bit, and I've been like, oh, I can actually do whatever I want to do. People will laugh at what they want to laugh at. As long as I put my efforts and try to make it as good as possible, then I've done my best and
That
I'll be
is
satisfied with
so
it.
true. And I
Yeah.
mean, you literally just answered it. There is really nothing like being shy. When people say I'm
Yeah.
shy, at the back of it is I'm ashamed, I'm afraid, I'm uncertain, I'm anxious.
Yeah.
Will I be accepted?
Exactly.
Will I be recognized? Will I be appreciated? And in the middle of all that
Exactly.
anxiety and uncertainty, we just say, you know what? To avoid a disappointment or to avoid a rejection or a shame, let me keep quiet. And then you now find people say such things like, oh,
Yeah.
I just like to be on the background. Oh, I'm really not the talking type. I just like to hear other people talk. And before you know,
Exactly. Exactly.
we begin to limit ourselves further and lose out on potential opportunities that we can get. Because the truth is, like you said,
Yeah.
you never know if the person will return your handshake. You never know if the person will be like, oh, it's nice to meet you, I love your hair. You really never know what the person would do. But in
Yeah.
the place of
Yeah.
being shy, there's only one thing:
Mm.
nothing will happen. In the place of not being shy, you also have the possibilities
Nothing
that
will happen.
something great will happen while nothing would happen. So where gives you more opportunities, where
Yes.
you navigate towards. And I really like that. I'm really glad to know that you have identified that and you're
Exactly.
consciously now working it out
Yeah.
to engage yourself optimally. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell me, what does success mean to you?
Like I said, I started every problem I face. I think that is something that we need to talk about
Yeah.
in the creative world. People gatekeep a lot.
Mm,
People hide their
mm,
knowledge. Because they find that, oh, this knowledge takes me a lot of hard work to get, so I'm going to keep it. I don't find it interesting. It's not I feel like being able to help other people learn what I know or being able to do it, because art is so abstract that I can tell you
yeah.
everything, my process. and show it to you, and then when we do the same
Yeah.
thing, we will not have the same
Yeah.
result. That is the beauty
Yeah.
of art. If we can, because the way I think, the way I arrange things is different from the way, even if I show you, there could be
The
similarity, but
similarities.
there's still going to be difference, and it's going to be beautiful. You understand? So being able to impact other people's life, being able to see people come to my DMs and be like, I've had people from Germany, I've had people from in this
Wow.
content I've started creating here in Nigeria. Now I created my own content to solve my fellow Nigerian problems. And now I have people from other countries coming to my DMs and telling me, oh, you're solving
Because
our problems as
kings
well. So it's
kings
like I'm
shall
returning back.
come to the rising of diligent people. When you are diligent in your ways, you will
Exactly,
stand
exactly,
before kings, and it's not kings by one
exactly,
tribe or another tribe, it's kings from everywhere. So they come to your rising. Yeah.
exactly, 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 exactly. So that's I think that's the biggest. You can make a lot of money from that. You can be happy at the same time, and then everything just that's success. Like that is success. Like that is true success. Impacting people while
Fantastic.
making money from it. It's just
If
so
a colleague of mine calls it
yeah.
making money, do charging a fee for what you can do for free. So you're making money from something that just
Yeah,
makes you happy.
yeah,
I mean, and like, oh, I get paid for it, right?
yeah,
Oh, that's interesting. So tell me,
exactly, exactly.
what does the
Mhm.
next level of creativity look like for you?
What I'm actually doing right now is actually me scratching like the
Mm.
surface of whatever I want to do. And that's why I have an exhibition coming called Field Artist. So it's like me trying to now explore everything that I have hide from myself because I was shy. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
backtrack a
So
little.
calling myself a field
Why
artist,
failed artist? What is the root? What is the root, or what is the source of the name failed artist?
field artist, okay. So I feel like everyone, I'll repeat it. Everyone is an artist. Every one of us will like an innocent child that
Mm-hmm.
if they give you a pencil, if they hand you a
Yeah.
pencil to draw something, if they give you the reference, you
Mm-hmm.
just scribble with a smile on your face without caring about, oh, is it beautiful, or is it you just want to do what it told you to do. You understand? Being happy and enjoy it. So calling myself a field artist was because I had like a little bit of everything in me when I was like growing up. I wanted to make music. I wanted to dive into like acting myself. I wanted to do a lot of things, but I actually killed all those part of me because I was shy.
Mm.
I was scared of, oh, if I sing now, people are going to laugh at me. If I start dancing now, people are going to laugh at me. If I do this now, people are going to laugh at me. So now that I have like the avenue to show other people now, to show other aspect of the things that I want to do, now I can just like start exploring those other parts. So calling it a field artist is just like every one of us, we had art in us at one point, then we stopped. That's field.
Oh,
You
now
understand?
it
It's not like
makes
it's
sense.
then you just stopped. Every one of us. So the exhibition is going to help you realize that, oh, when I was a little child, I wanted to paint, and this was
That's
what I was painting.
amazing.
Oh, when I wanted to dance, I wanted to do this. So it's like an exhibition that puts like that just helps you like it's just free. You see me doing, oh, you can do this, oh, you can actually do this, oh, I wanted to do this. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like helping people realize that we actually have an artist in us that we kill one way or the other, maybe because we are pursuing money, pursuing other career paths, or maybe because we are just scared of trying new
It's
things. Yeah, so that's it.
I'm elated just listening to you because what you're talking about is what I realized in approaching my middle age when like I mentioned I was the art student. I was everything about the arts, acting, drama, dancing. It gave me all of the fulfillment. But you know the typical African home where you have, like we talked about, you have to be a science student. And even if you're not a science student, if you're an art student, you have to be doing a serious art course like law or
Yeah,
accounting, okay? And because of
yeah,
that
exactly.
mindset, I was looking to just do a serious course. And singing, dancing, and acting were not serious. I got into human resources. Human resources is a
Yeah,
serious job, and you have to have the right face and the persona and all
yeah,
of that. So, for the longest time, for so many years, I literally buried my gifts, buried that part
that
of me.
part,
I
exactly.
always like to talk about how I used to have
Yeah,
two Instagram handles. One was for the professional, Stephanie Kadiri, who was an HR professional and life coach. The other
yeah,
one was StephREDD. So StephREDD used to be my alter ego, right? So it was StephREDD that has on
yeah,
social media where she dances and sings and does every other thing that comes naturally to her. And then Stephanie
yeah,
Kadri was a serious HR
yeah,
professional coach. Now, the process of
yeah,
integrating that to say, you know what, these are giftings that come naturally to me. However, acquiring a skill that I also do great at, I can combine all together. There's some people that don't have all these giftings. And I believe that if it is something that we were born with, then our Creator had an
yeah,
anticipation of us or saw our future
yeah,
and
exactly,
considered that we had the
exact,
capacity to handle that talent.
so,
And for every
exact,
time we do not use it, we're saying
exact,
that our Creator did wrong by giving it to us. And the
yeah,
process of just
exactly,
integrating, and that is why, I mean, I introduced myself as Stephanie Kadri, but please call me StephREDD. It's StephREDD on all my handles. And I sing, I dance, I give people a happy chair, I coach, I train, I offer therapy. They are all the giftings, and
yeah,
I have the capacity to handle them. So hearing you also say the same thing at a young age, having also discovered that you have to be a voice out there for so many. And I am glad you've already started in
yeah,
the way you have started. And I want to say thank you, because it takes a lot of self-awareness even to come to that place to say, this is me,
yeah,
right? And you know that song by and the Greatest Showman, This Is Me. I connected so strongly with that song. I'm like,
yeah,
I am this, I am this, I am this. This is me, right? And just being able to embrace the fullness of yourself. Now, before you got to that place where you embraced yourself,
yeah.
did you experience any challenges? If you did, what were they like?
Yeah, so before, like I said, my greatest challenge was actually me being in my head, being in my own head, still wanting to
Mm,
pursue things that were not for me. Like going for that computer science course was not something that I
mm,
should have done at that point. I should have
yeah.
rather focused my energy on getting better at my art because I was in school where I got a call from the legendary Angelique Kidjo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to work on the video for her. I was in school. And then she called me. It didn't really sink into my head till like 3 days later. I was doing badly in school, but I
Wow.
was doing so great in my art. You understand? So, but I started comparing the happiness. I wasn't able to enjoy those things because I wasn't focused on the one
Mm,
that I was supposed to focus on. You know, getting a call from her, working on a project, getting paid. They paid me in dollars then. It was one of the
amazing.
biggest moments of my life. So, getting paid for that project and then working on that project in 7 days, those were the happiest 7 days of my life. I was just excited to do the project. And I sent it to her and she only had one correction, which is change my name, change the font
Mm,
you use for my name. I was so happy. She loved it. She posted it. They credited me. They put my name on the project, and so my challenges has actually been accepting that art, this thing I'm pursuing now, is supposed to be
mm,
what I should pursue. You understand? Just being in my own head and going back and forth with it, doubting, can this really be a full time thing? Do I need to get a
yeah.
backup? Can I go all in? You understand? Just being scared of that dream and being scared of what is possible. So that has been the challenge. But once I accepted it,
Yeah.
once I stopped being scared, I have been able to just like keep on doing it without caring about
Mm,
whatever is going to come out from it. And I've been doing decently so far.
amazing. So, would you consider that as one of the most fulfilling experiences in your career as an artist?
Yeah, I've had the thing is I've had like so many good experiences with while working. I mean, my work has been posted by Wizkid. Even as a little boy, then when I
Amazing.
started graphic design, like 2 years in, you understand, I've been able during the NSARS
Yeah.
protest that was so popular in Nigeria. Though I was not
Yeah.
out, I wasn't physically out, but my work was out. I made something for Aisha Yusufu then, and then the work just went viral. I got interviewed
Were you
for
the one
it.
that
I
did
got to
that
speak.
animation of her?
Yes,
Amazing. Wow. Okay.
yeah, so I got to put my voice out there. My work has always been a place where I'm able to put my voice out. Like whenever, so I've been able to do it in different circumstances. I've been able to work with, I mean, my content, when I started creating content, I was on MTV base. My video
Yeah.
was on NTV based. I even won a techno challenge. They gave me a phone. You understand? So I've not struggled with getting what I want from art,
Mm.
but I've just been doubting it. Art has never
Amazing.
doubted me. It has been giving me return, but I've been like just going back and doubting it. But now that I focused on it, it has been showing me that I told
I
you
like
this
that.
is possible. Being here right now for me is a fulfillment.
Mm.
I love talking to people about my life, my work, every experience I
Yeah.
experienced through my art because I am here right now because you saw my videos and then you liked them. And it's a fulfilling experience for me. It's a manifestation to the biggest thing to the bigger things that can happen in my life. So yeah,
Amazing. Tell
that's
me,
the,
how do you
yeah.
separate your personal life and your artist life?
I wake up every day an artist. I wake up, see the frames. I have frames behind me right now. I actually made all those frames myself because
Mm.
I actually draw sometimes. So it's just something that I can wake up and be like, oh, I want to get a new frame. And
Yeah.
then I don't need to get a new frame.
Amazing.
I can draw it out. My life is my personal life. It's something that I enjoy while like still living my life. It doesn't affect anything at all. I'm
Oh,
just happy
fantastic.
doing it.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm
So tell
pleased.
me, in this world of social media, right? Even when you do good, you get burned up. You do bad, you get burned up more. How do you handle criticism and negative comments?
Yeah, so number one thing that I am so glad I was able to learn is I have no expectations from social media. You understand? Like I said, when I just got out of being shy, I stopped caring about whatever anyone is going to say. It's not that I don't
Mm,
care. I still
mm,
take like constructive criticism. I still take people telling me, oh, you could have done it this way. But before I put out my work, I've actually seen most of the mistakes. And then another thing that I do now on purpose is to add some kind of
okay.
blemish into my work just to get people to talk.
Oh,
It helps your algorithm
oh,
because people like to show that they know. People like to show
interesting.
that they know stuff. So even if you know, I'll just put it out there and get you to comment on my post, and then the algorithm will favor it without arguing. I won't argue. I'll be like, yeah, it's fine. Oh, I didn't notice. Oh, you're so smart. Some people might end up following you for that, like, oh, this person thinks it well.
Nice
You understand? So it's
one.
not something that I care about. Yes,
Mm.
yes,
So
exactly.
have
That's
do
it.
you ever find yourself in a place, regardless, yes, with all the enthusiasm, do you have you ever yet found yourself occasionally or how frequently it may be in a situation where you're self-doubting or uncertain?
Yeah, yeah, I
Tell
wouldn't
me
even lie
about it.
because sometimes
Mm.
these things yeah, they get to us. So there was some times that I
Yeah.
just started putting out content. You understand? And maybe I wasn't well equipped with the kind of knowledge that I need to make that particular effect to be so smooth. You understand? So someone might drop a comment and be like, "Oh, that is not so smooth. Oh, it's not very good." You understand? But I realized that that's a lot of encouraging ones than the negative ones, than the ones that want to criticize my work. So I mostly pay attention to the positive ones and then I take the negative one into account. And like I
Yeah.
said, I just use it to improve myself. You understand? Don't make mistakes anymore. Try to learn why
Mm,
that came out that
mm,
way and just building it. So it has never been something that affected me into doubting
mm,
myself. I've never doubted myself. In art, I love it and I know I can keep on improving and I keep
mm.
on enjoying it. So I've never doubted myself artistically, like my knowledge or my skills.
Amazing. So as a creative, as a fellow
Yeah.
creative, I write. Part of all the other things I do is I write. And there are times when I have a writer's block where I just have this block and I may just need to leave it all for a while and then probably come back to it. And then I may have new inspiration to continue. Tell me how you handle, if you have, do you have creative blocks? And are there times when you lack inspiration? If yes, how do you navigate?
We all experience it. I feel like if you're creative and you have never experienced
You
creative
might
block,
not actually be a
you might not
creative.
actually be
Yes.
doing something yet. Yeah. So I feel like creative block is telling you
Mm,
now
mm,
it's time to grow. You've done that phase, grow. You understand? So most of the times, this is what I do. I
yeah.
look at other people's work without like I don't look at other people's work and feel intimidated. I feel
Absolutely.
inspired. I am not the best cinematic shot creator
Mm,
in the world right now. And then there's no matter how good you can be, there's always going to be
yeah.
someone that can do it slightly better. So I look at those other people I get inspired by their work. And then the one that works for me mostly is I teach other people. So what I said that I posted it. I said when you don't know what to do, teach others what to do.
Absolutely. Oh, wow.
It helps me. Yeah, so when you teach other people your previous, let's say now that maybe you don't have an idea for a topic that you want
Mm,
to talk about on your podcast, you can make a video and be like, here is how I get the
mm,
topic for my previous podcast. I went on this one. That is a
absolutely.
topic
Yeah.
itself. You've created a topic from no topic. You understand? So when you are going to create a blog, look at the other things you've done. Can you show other people how you did that one? Can you show other people how it was possible? What can you talk about it? Then from there, you find yourself getting other
Mm,
like topics
mm.
and inspiration from that. Yeah, so that has been me,
So
how I
you
deal with
had
my
said
creative
that
blocks.
when you started your artistic journey, you didn't have an inspiration or a mentor to to guide you. Have
Yeah,
you found any now? If have you found
yeah,
any presently, and how do you, if not, how do you typically navigate a difficult time? How do you find support through a difficult experience or difficult time, whether it's a brain block or a creative block, or it's even in the moments of probably self-doubting? How do you navigate, or do you still do all that on your own?
yeah. So I'm more of like an introvert. I mostly stay by myself. I'm mostly by myself. So during those periods, I try to talk with my mom. I find it very therapeutic when I talk to my mom. So if I have anything bothering me, I can call my mom. Now she just needs to listen. She doesn't even need to say anything back, because she just knows the right thing to say. Like, "Oh, you'll be fine. I
It's
trust you. I
amazing.
believe in you." You know, those stuffs are just like
It's
reassuring words that makes you feel like, oh, there's people that believe
mm,
in you. There are people that believe in you, that want you. And sometimes I go back to my previous post, I check the comments, I look at how people are complimenting what I'm doing. I feel like, oh, maybe this face is going to like, and I just tried, like I said, your body is just telling you, even if you're going through like a personal doubt, self doubt, I feel
mm,
like it's your body
mm,
telling you you
mm,
can do more than
mm.
what you're doing. There's always room for improvement, you understand? So it has been like just like going back. So when you want to, it's like catapult. I see like catapult. I see like, for you to go forward sometimes you have to just go back. So when you drag the catapult back and then you release that momentum, you're going to another level in life, you understand? So I see those drawback as okay, now
Yeah,
this is the time
yeah.
I'm going to catapult myself to another level.
Mm,
And it has always been like that for me. So content, I didn't take content creation serious till April. In April, I had 500 subscribers on YouTube. I had just 5,000 followers on TikTok, and I was down. You understand? Then I'm like, okay, this next phase, I'll take content creation serious. And from there, I went to 80,000 followers, 17,000 here. My subscribers went to
that's
6,000,
amazing.
almost 7,000. You understand what I'm saying? So it actually works, like taking it in and just releasing all those emotions and helping yourself,
Mm,
seeing,
mm.
dealing with it positively. Just like it helps you stay balanced and
That's amazing.
helps you
How
improve.
do you take care of yourself,
Yeah.
aka the wicked? How do you what are your how do you incline towards self-care to take care of the container that bears the gifts of your art?
Okay, so number one thing, I actually growing up, I promised myself two things. I wasn't
Oh,
going to
that's
drink, I wasn't going to smoke, because I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, whenever you smoke, you get a lot of inspiration.
oh,
When you are high,
wow.
you're
That's
like,
new information.
but yes, so yeah, so I'm like, nah, this is number one. Self care for me is to deal with things. I deal with it myself. I don't try to hide. You understand? Because the earlier you deal with it, you find yourself moving on. You understand?
Mm,
That's self care to me. Looking at things that I'm supposed to do and doing it on time is self care. You help yourself deal with that phase and move on. I don't eat a lot of food. It's not something that
literally.
I enjoy like that. But I try to eat snacks. I still try to eat. I still try to go out. I talk to my friend. I watch football. I play football sometimes. So whenever, sometimes I just take my mind off the ads and do other things, play video games. I still try to enjoy myself as a young person, because I feel like growing too early or growing too fast sometimes might even end up
Mm,
breaking you. So I just try to be like a young person and just enjoy life in that like in a normal way. Yeah, one day at a time. Exactly.
let's
Exactly.
bring it inwards now. We talked about your art, we talked about your inspiration. let's talk about your emotions. How do you connect with your emotions as a man? And how do you even connect that with your
Okay.
art? Let's
So
let's talk about your emotions.
yeah, so like I said, our emotions, like you have to deal with them like very well sometimes, you understand? You have to face them head on and
Mm,
understand, am I feeling sad or am I feeling intimidated? Sometimes I don't follow like I love some artists right now. I love like Rema, Wizkid, Davido, Olamide, Fireboy, and I don't follow them on Instagram. Why I don't follow them on Instagram is I don't want because these are like I see them as people that I am supposed to be in that kind of
mm,
level as well. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say someone that Rema now that is even younger than me posted a new like maybe a new stuff or something that I feel like I should have. You understand? Like I feel like I should have gotten that kind of thing as well. It might just ruin my mood or it
I
might
see where
just
you're coming
affect
from.
my day. And unconscious. But when I go there myself, sometimes I go there myself. I prepare my mind that I'm going here to get inspired. It's not like I'll wake up in the morning and the first thing I'll see is something that will intimidate me or something that will make me feel emotional or something that will make me doubt myself or the level that I am in my life. You understand? So I actually love those people. I go to their page, but I don't allow them to come to
Mm,
me. I go to them. So that's one way of dealing with my emotions. I don't allow things to intimidate me. I don't allow things to like get to me, especially the ones that I can avoid, the ones that I can actually make no
mm,
get to me. You understand? I deal with my emotions face on. If I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling doubt, I try to understand what am I actually feeling and I try to deal with it. I talk to people, I talk to my mom, I talk to my friends. I I just stay like in check. Every time I check back on myself, like how you doing? Is this good? Are you where you want to be? What can we do? How can we improve? Stuff like that. So that's how I deal with like my emotions.
oh, that's amazing. Has there ever been a time where you have been caught unawares and overwhelmed by a burst of experiences that left you emotional? How did you handle it?
Yeah, so when I was in school, like I said, I was in that place when I was in the university because I'm very on the long run. I'm still someone that I don't like failing. I
Mm,
don't like not doing well. So when I wasn't doing well in school, but I was still doing well in my art, I had a lot of emotions in my head, like,
yeah.
oh, what can I do now? Do I need to? Can I
Mm,
drop out? Can I go to school, or
mm,
should I just leave art for now for school? But the thing I did was I just noticed there was something. There's a story in the Bible that I relate to a lot. It's about a master that gave
talent.
his
Yes.
servants some talents.
Each
I think it
according to
was,
their
yeah.
capacity.
So they gave one according to their capacity. So sometimes you don't have to do more than your capacity. You understand? And sometimes you have
Mm,
the capacity
mm,
to do more. But at that point, I was not going to be able to do school
mm,
and still do art.
mm,
But art is
mm,
my favorite. Art is what I can do without feeling bad. You understand? So I just took it upon myself to drop one and focus on that art aspect. You understand? So dealing with that, like that moment, I just dealt with it like, oh, okay, this time I'm going to trust this art that has made me speak with this with this kind of lady that has been able to help me put my voice out, that has been able to do a lot of things for me personally. You understand? So I just narrowed it down that way and I just decided
mm.
to stick with that one. So for me, I dealt with it by like narrowing down my options and then picking the one that is best for me, that I feel like is best for me at that point to do.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
It's been so exciting listening to you and just encouraging listening to you and just hear you speak from, and it's really, they say wisdom is not about age. You just speak from almost like as though you have a wealth of experience when it comes to dealing with your emotions and dealing with difficult challenges and finding yourself and all of it. And I really just want to say thank you for being able to connect
Yeah.
with yourself so deeply. It's been wonderful sharing with you. We're going to take a break now and we're going to come back. Just in case you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the link somewhere and subscribe. And hey, we're going to come back with some final words from AK the Wicked. AK the what? The Wicked. Hey, stay tuned. Okay, we are back. I hope you've subscribed. I'm still with AkDaWicked, and it's been such an insightful interview with this phenomenal artist. One more question, and I would like to ask, what is that thing that you would like to share with your audience to help them navigate their own journey of self-discovery? That is a two-pronged question. The first question is, at what point did you start your journey to self-discovery to realize that in the proverbial, this is me, look out, because here I come. Yes, this is me. At what point did you discover, did you say, this is my journey, I am walking it? And how would you encourage someone else to embark on their own journey, on their own journey to navigate the path to self-discovery?
Number one thing for me is, even when I was a shy person that wasn't able to like express myself the way I want to, I still find another means, which was graphic design, that could still help me express myself without showing my face. You understand? So you have to know that as a person, every challenge, everything that you are facing right now, you have to always find a way to turn it into positivity. You understand? Into finding it to work for you. So if you're someone that loves dancing, and maybe you are not able to dance as much as you can, whenever you get the chance to show yourself, just put it out there. Now is the social media is so flexible now that you can just do one
Mm.
video now and it's everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? So you just have to know that whatever you're facing, like we said about that story in the Bible, I love it.
I
God
love
has
it.
given us the capacity. He has
Yeah,
given us something according to our capacity,
yeah,
according to what we can deal with.
yeah.
And it doesn't mind taking it and giving it to even someone that has more,
If we don't
that
want
has
to
more
use
already,
it,
and still even enrich their life and make it better, because it feels like that person is going to make it.
mm-hmm.
If you don't want to use it, you understand. So even as a shy person, I still took it upon myself to find a way to express myself without showing my face. You understand? So the self discovery for me was actually sitting down and be like, I want to express myself. What is the best way to express myself without putting myself under a lot of pressure? So sit down back. I've had people come to me and be like, "Oh, you're so talented." I don't feel like I'm talented. I don't think I am talented. I feel like the difference between someone that refers to themselves as talented and not talented is something just naturally comes to us. There are people that will pick up the pencil and then they start drawing and then they find out that they can actually replicate what they see. That is talent easily. But you can actually still acquire this thing
Absolutely.
with a skill. You understand? Dedicating your time and doing it every day.
Yeah, yeah,
Consistency is very important. It's very important in anything you do in life. Unconsciously, we had to go to school. Why do we have to go to school 5 days in a week? Because they knew it was consistent. You were not going to go to school 2 days and be able to solve that mathematics problem.
show
You
up.
have to show up every day,
Mhm.
at least 5 days in a week. You understand? So people give up and they refer to themselves as non-talented. No, you gave up. You didn't want to. That's the difference between a talented person and, because it comes easy to that person's find it easy to draw every day. But you want to draw as well, but you left
Mm.
it alone because it was hard for you. But if you put that
Yeah,
amount of effort, you find yourself doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So the journey to self-discovery is sitting down and know that nothing comes easy. It doesn't come easy. Anything you're facing, you have to be able to turn it into positivity and use it very well for yourself. You understand? So that has been the way like I like discovered myself. I put in, if I want to learn something and it's hard for me, but I really want to learn it, I'll put in that extra effort to learn it and just like get better at it.
amazing. So there's a story I always tell. I
Exactly.
always like to share. I hope I will find another two gentlemen to begin to use to tell the story sometime in the future. But for the past 6 years, I keep telling the story of Ronaldo and Messi. In my opinion, Ronaldo is a passionate player and Messi is a talented player. Messi was born with the talent of playing
Yeah.
football, but he didn't leave it at the
Yeah.
place of talent. He turned it to skill.
Easily.
Ronaldo was passionate about
Skill.
football and he turned his passion to
Exactly.
skill. Now, what may have taken Messi 2 weeks to learn may have taken Ronaldo 2 years to learn. Nevertheless, the consistency on each of their paths to
But he
show
actually
up
put in that.
and show up
Exactly.
and show up and never give up
Exactly.
until you win at what you're doing is really all that makes us genius, really. And I like to say, I like to repeat, in the words of Albert Einstein, there's a genius in every human being, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, to spend the rest of its life believing that it is stupid. And many of us, probably because of nurture or upbringing and training, many of us are now looking at ourselves through other people's lenses, and we have cowered with our genius. We have tucked our geniuses away. And it's important to realize that your genius is only as potent as you give time to it. You can come with the genius of drawing, of dancing, of singing, or whatever it is. But for that genius to be desired, you have to have moved it from a place of raw talent to skill. For that to happen, you have to show up. You have to work it. You have to believe in it. You have to fight against self-doubt. You have to fight against even the doubt of others and believe in yourself strong enough that one day, one leg in front of the other, you will progressively become. And if the creator thought it wise enough to give you a talent from birth, then he was also wise enough to know that you have the capacity to work it out and impact your world with it. Okay, so final words. Thank you so much, AK. It's been fantastic. It's just been a blessing listening to you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for sticking out with us on Spot On with StephREDD. On to the next. Looking forward to who will be our next guest. And it will be just as amazing as this. Hey, we're sharing perspectives, we're sharing life experiences, and quite importantly, we're sharing our geniuses to the world so that we can impact the world one genius at a time. Up until the next Spot On with StephREDD episode, you stay amazing and remember, you're a genius. And up until you are done squeezing out every genius in you, you never give up until you win. And even if you don't win, ensure by all means that you finish strong. You have a fantastic day. I am StephREDD. Cheers.